Okay. How's everybody doing? I need to get this done. I have a lot of projects that I've either started by cutting things out or drafting things. And I have a few things that I just need to get out the way, get done. And this scrub top is one of them. I did want to record myself. I do have a recording of me doing the scrub top before that I think I did about 3 years ago. I think I put part one up. I never put part two up. So I wanted to do this. And I don't like recording and then editing and putting it up. So I actually prefer to do it live. So I purchased some fabric. Um, I make these scrub tops for my husband. And then people see his scrub tops. And then they order scrub tops from me. Okay? They are one of a kind, of course. And there's a lot of things that I could do. Now, there's some things I'm going to change on this scrub top. After talking to him, some of the things I wanted to change, he didn't want me to do. He was like, nah. Okay, I'm going to show you some of his scrub tops that I have made in the past. Let me grab them out the closet here. Okay. I'm going to just do that really quickly. I just did this one a few months ago. He's a Cowboys fan. He hasn't even worn this one yet. I just did this one a few months ago. Okay. He likes the pockets at the top that I put there and split in half. So I did this one a few months ago. I did this one maybe last year or the year before last. He's a fisherman fan. Okay. And I did this one. It's an army shirt, or should I say army on it. I did this one. This was the first one I did for him ever. Okay. And I did this one about 5 years ago. And it still looks great. Okay. I didn't have a serger back then, but I don't even look like I overlocked it. It looks good in the inside. Yeah, and it's standing the test of time. So this one's about 5 years old. Okay. Now, this one is this military fabric. It doesn't say Army or Navy or whatever, right? But it just says bravery, united we stand. It has the dog tags, the American flag, respect, courage, valor. So it's like one that I could use for any service member, any whatever branch it is. Okay, so when I found that, I was like, okay, I know he'll like it. And so then I wanted to put that he was in the Army. So I embroidered the Army logo and then I put it on a pocket. So the upper pocket. And because I didn't use the same fabric, because this fabric is quite busy, this is busy, got a lot of writing. So if I would have put the logo on here, you wouldn't have been able to notice it. So I decided to put it on white. And because I did that, I decided to make the V-neck area white to match it. So nobody will even know that this isn't how it go, right? Originally, I did cut out the V-neck in this fabric, but then I just figured this would be out of place. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say this neck is the V-neck pattern pieces. So that was there, right? That would be the V-neck. And then this white pocket. And see how it stands out? It stands out just a little too much. It looks like it doesn't really go. You see what I mean? But when I decided to do the white strip, and it kind of blends in. It looks like, okay, so that was my thought process. But when you're making your own clothing, you can do what you want. Okay, but that's just something I decided to do. I have another fishing. There's maybe like 3 more that I've made him through the years. That's in the closet. And there was another fishing one where I did that. I embroidered. I'd rather be fishing on the pocket. And because it didn't go well, I decided to change the V-neck portion. Okay. Anyway, that's to explain that. So now the thing about this pattern that I have here, or the pattern, is that the sleeves are what I call ingrown sleeves, right? What does that mean? That means I didn't have to cut out a sleeve and fit it in. It's just naturally there based on the way you cut the pattern piece. It's easier for beginners, most definitely. And my husband tended to like it. Now, I tried to talk him into letting me just make him a sleeve. And I explained to him what the difference would be. If I cut out this portion to make it a sleeve, when he raises his arms, it'll be separate from the shirt. So, therefore, when he raises his arm with this shirt on, the entire shirt kind of lifts up. But, I mean, when he's at work, it's not that he raises his arms. Like, why would he be raising his arms above his head all day? He wouldn't. And even when it rises up, it's long enough. It fit him real good. He likes it. He likes the ones that I made from better than these here. Let me see. So these, as you can see, actually, yeah, this one that they issued them at work, they give them a few every year or something like that. And this one is homegrown sleeve also. I think that's what gave me the idea, right? I used the pattern off of one of his shirts. And then I bought a pattern, and it's the same thing. So the truth is, if you don't have a pattern, but you have a shirt, let me show you what you could do. Take whatever item you want to make, if you have one already. It's called copying your clothes. And you would fold it like that and cut around it. Okay? You could tell this is an old one. I don't even know if he wears this deal. It's miscolored. You see they got a spot here. I'm actually, now that I see that, I'm probably going to cut this up. So even if he does wear it, he's not going to wear it again. I'm going to cut it up, okay? Because I just noticed this. I don't wash his clothes. He washes his own clothes. And he could leave them at work and they'll wash them, but he brings them home and washes his own clothes. Okay, I'm going to cut this up. Don't tell him. Don't tell him, okay? I'll make a patchwork, make another shirt or something. I might even use it in a quilt. Okay, anyway, so that's simple. I just wanted to show y'all that. So far, I've gotten to the part where I've embroidered the pocket. It wasn't a pocket when I embroidered. It was just a piece of fabric. I embroidered on it. And then I cut out the size. Here's my pocket pattern pieces, right? So this is the actual pocket piece with the seam allowance, right? So when I wanted to make that my pockets really square, I'm talking about, see how sharp that pocket is? It's sharp. It's sharp. And the reason, how did I do that? I used the insert. So let me show you what I did. Because I did this on camera, but I was live on somebody's stream. So I know y'all didn't get to see me do it. Anyway, I'm just going to give you a kind of, how did I do it? Let me see. I just need a piece of fabric, okay? That's large enough. Is that large enough? Yeah, so originally I cut out, first I had a piece of fabric and I embroidered on it. It was a large piece, okay? Large enough that I knew would fit this piece. And then, as you see, I have some center points because I want the embroidery to be centered. So that's why all these, especially that line, and I have a little notch here and here to make sure that what I embroidered was going to be in the center of the pocket. But anyway, but not originally, right? Originally, I just embroidered. Then I took this piece, I put it on top. I made sure that the army portion was in the center. Boom, boom, right? And then I take this piece and put it in, right? It wouldn't be this large because it would be this large, right? And then I would kind of fold it over and iron it in place. And I would get a real sharp square. It would, you know, or should I say a triangle? Because I don't think this squared, okay? That is what gives me my really nice pockets, 100% pockets all the time, okay? And I didn't do that all the time. Like sometimes I would end up with a little piece down here. It wouldn't be so tight and neat as this one is, or some of them were, okay? So when I learned that technique, it works 100% of the time. And it's quicker, okay? It's quick. So then I had the pocket piece. I folded over at the top, stitched it, and then I put it on, and I went around it, and then I got this little part. And then you can't tell because it's white, but let me see if I have a pin. I did separate it. I don't need a pin. I just need something. I don't want to put a pin in it. Where this part is separate from this part, because he likes to put his pins and his thermometer, whatever he uses at work, he slides them in his pocket, okay? So he likes that, so I separated them that way. The good thing is he tells me what he like, and I can adjust his shirts accordingly. Now, the part that I really wanted to show y'all, but I think I did on another video, is I want to show y'all how to put this V-neck in. Now, I learned this technique. This is a brand new technique that I learned maybe about a year ago. And this V-neck came out perfect, okay? Now, my other ones came out perfect as well, but it took me time. It was time consuming, and, you know, it was easy to get messed up. But this one was so simple, it was ridiculously simple. And I'm going to just quickly show you how I did it, okay? Just in case anybody wondering, because they do have a lot of videos here on YouTube, which that's where I got the information from, a YouTube video, okay? Now, since I do have some extra pieces here, okay? I'm not going to sew it on here, but I'm going to just show you. Okay, so the V-neck, the way you sew it on, you sew it from the right side, believe it or not, okay? You sew it, so when you fold it, boom, you see what I mean? Like, right now, this is the raw edge. The raw edge go there, and you sew it, and then when you sew it, it flips like this. That means that portion will be underneath. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Anyway, the way I learned maybe about a year ago is, since this piece goes here, and there's a spot where the V falls, right? I put a pin there. Let me show you what I did. Let me get a pin real quick. I put a pin right where the V should fall. See how the V falls right there? You want it to be perfect. You want that V to be perfectly in the center. And the reason I knew it was perfectly in the center, because I had already did a stitch that's called the, it's a stitch so, damn, what is it called? So it doesn't stretch out of place and warp up. A stay stitch. Ooh, goodness. I put a stay stitch, and that stay stitch helped me know exactly where the middle is, right? So before even putting this here, I stayed stitch around. And then, because I knew where the point was going to be, which is here. You probably can't see the stitching that I did, but the stitch was here. So what I did, I took this piece here. The piece will go like this, so you sew it like this. And I line this up with that V where the stay stitch was. And I put a pin like this. And then I took this piece and I turned it like this. Woo, 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 right? I turned it and turned it and turned it. And what I wanted was, I wanted this piece to align with the other side like this, if that makes sense. It's hard for me to do it now because the piece is here, right? It's hard for me. But I wanted this to come from this side to this side and line up this way. I hope that makes sense, right? So then you take the other one and you go put it like this, right on that spot like that, right? Now see, I know it makes no sense right now because it's here and here, right? But I then stitch this from here to here, boom. And then I go in, I clip, and then I turn. Remember that part gonna be stitched. And then I take this and turn it, bam, 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 and stitch that side to that side. And then I flip it and it ends up being perfect. I know it doesn't make sense because y'all can't see me doing it, but it ends up being a perfect V-neck. It was the quickest, easiest thing. This is my V-neck piece right here. Okay. Anyway, now let's get to the next part. Okay. I know I explained that, but so now I need the front and back piece, and I'm gonna show you I did stay stitch. This is the back piece. So stay stitching. Now let me tell you, when you're a beginning sewist and you start sewing pattern pieces, I know. Listen to me what I'm saying. There's a lot of steps you be thinking, wow, why do I have to do that? They don't, if you don't know what the terms are and what they do, then you might want to skip it. Okay, so stay stitching is one of those things I used to skip. I used to say, well, why do they want me? Like, let me give you an example. I know you can't see it, but you should be able to see this string here, right? So I stayed stitch around this curve. That's the neckline. But I didn't, you see, I didn't sew it to anything. I just put a stitch there. Originally, when I was a beginning sewer getting into really sewing, I was like, why would I'm not even sewing anything together. Why would I do that? But then I had to look and see what stay stitching means. In the instructions, they tell you to stay stitch. They don't tell you what it means. So I used to say, I don't need to do that. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to tell you what stay stitching means. When you cut a fabric that's not on the warp or the, so that this is a woven fabric, right? Because I cut and it's like a little circle or V, you're not cutting a straight on the warp or the weft. Warp and weft, right? Warp is up and down, weft is across. If you cut anything other than that, the fabric can stretch out and get real messed up. So a stay stitch means exactly what it says. It keeps, you stitch it to keep everything in place. So now, normally, if you was making this item real quick, it may not affect it too much. But most of us, I cut this fabric weeks ago. I just started sewing it just like a week ago. And now we still haven't. So in that long time, even just moving it from here to here or having it packaged, the fabric can get out of shape. I'm not sure if y'all ever remember having jackets or not jackets, sweaters or clothing where it starts bending out of shape. The neckline starts hanging. And when you buy clothes, that still happens. Because they don't care about making the clothes last for a long time. So they're not stay stitching. But if you want something to last a very long time, there are techniques that you use in order to keep that shirt in its same shape for as long as possible. Okay, so that's what stay stitching does. So it's a good thing I stay stitched that to keep it in that, and it won't move because the stitch keeps it from going out of shape. I could play with it like this and it's still, because there's a stitch that kept that shape. I hope that makes sense. I know I'm over explaining, but if you into sewing, these are things you will need to know. Okay. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna be sewing in a minute, but I'm gonna take this is the back. We want right sides together. This is the front, and I'm gonna put them together at the shoulders. Okay. Now, when I cut this out, I made some adjustments because I was deciding on what type of seams I want to do. In other words, do I want to use my serger on it in the inside, or do I want to just leave raw edges and peak it with my peaking shears? Or, and I decided that I'm going to do what we call French seams, right? And when I put everything together, that's going to encase the raw edges in the inside and the outside. And that way I'm not going to have to do much on the inside. The inside will be clean. So that's what I'm going to do, except in certain areas like what I'm about to do now. I'm actually about to sew the seams together. Okay. Now I can still do that on the top, but I don't need to do it on top. That's what I'm looking for, a piece. It's for the back neckline. Okay. Yeah, I had it all sitting here nicely until I started messing with things, and then here we go. It's over here by the sewing machine. Okay. So there's many ways of sewing, different techniques of making it clean and nice. And this back neckline is what I'm working on right now. Although I'm in the front of the shirt putting it together, I want to make this neckline really smooth and nice. And let me show you what that looks like. See, his neckline is real smooth and nice there. And I use this type of, this is a different technique, right? Where you use a facing. If you look at the ones that he had at his job, though, they didn't use a facing. They used binding. So this is binding on the neckline, and mine is a facing on the neckline. And what's the difference between them? Both of them real cool, right? But it depends. Like I could actually use a binding, right? You could use a binding, but I'm using a facing. So what is a facing? It's the piece here that goes on the back. But I'm going to sew it because I want the front and back to get sewn together, right? So I'm going to end up, even though the front is here, right? The front is here. These I need to cut some of that off. I'm going to line this with the right side on the right side, okay? So when I sew it, I'm going to go and sew it. I'm going to sew the shoulder. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go doom, doom, and doom. So I'm going to get all that together in one. And then I'm going to flip this, boom, and it's going to go in the inside. Because remember, this part goes in the inside of the shirt. But it's going to have a real nice finishing at the top, as I showed you on this shirt. See, that piece is in the inside of the shirt. This is the inside of the shirt. But I sewed it from the outside of the shirt, flipped it, and then top stitched it down. Okay? Binding is pretty much similar, but let's say this piece might be a binding. It would be smaller. And I would sew it like this. Boom, 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 boom. Right? It would be cut to that shape. But it would be small, and then I would fold it over and then stitch it at the top. Okay? It really saves fabric, but this looked better. Okay? And then when you buy something, they're not trying to keep it where you keep it forever. They want you to keep having to buy them and buy them and buy them, okay? So they don't care about it lasting forever. I do, okay? I want this to last forever, where even when he retires, you might pass him down to somebody in his family or donate him to Goodwill. Okay, so when I did the V-neck, y'all could see they had some hangover. I always do mine that way so I can take off extra, okay? Rather have too much than too little, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? I hope so. Hope that makes sense to you. I'm still even leaving some hangover, just a little bit, just in case. And then I'm going to put my V-neck right on that sleeve right there. And I'm more concerned with this matching up than that. Because if I have extra hanging over there, I could cut it off. And then, okay. So I want that there. I want that there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to pin this. And I'm going to pin it in place. Clip it in place. I'm going to pin it. Okay, I want that to be. And what I'm noticing that it's too long, which is okay. I'll cut it if I need to, which I do need to. Because I want that to be there. Now, although I want to catch the V-neck, I don't want to catch the V-neck. And I'm going to explain what I mean. We only want to catch the V-neck within the seam allowance that's at the top. Right? Because remember, this is the front of the shirt. And we don't want this to affect the front of the shirt. Right? We don't want that to affect the front of the shirt. So sometimes you may have to go in and mark to make sure you don't go too far in when I do that sewing. So I got to make sure that I stay in the seam allowance and don't go out of it. That's why it's important for this to line up right. Okay. Now what I could do, I could sew this on first and then do the shoulders, but it comes out seamlessly better if you do it all in one. Okay? Seamlessly better. So let's see, we're going to, and then we pin the shoulders in place really quick. I hate using pins. I'm going to be honest. I hate pins. I use them when I need to use them, only when I need to use them. When it's like kind of necessary. I hate them because I'm always sticking myself. And what's bad about me sticking myself, because the stick itself don't hurt, but I always jump when I stick myself, and then I rip my skin with them. I'm like a little girl screaming, ah! It with a little prick. It'd be a little prick, y'all. It doesn't even really hurt, but I'm just, I don't know, it's kind of jumpy. And no, even though I know I do that, I still can't prevent myself from doing it. It's almost just like, I don't know, like just something that I just do automatically. So y'all saw what I did? I'm going to show it to you closely, and then we're going to go to my sewing machine. So I pinned from the sleeve. Remember, this is a homegrown sleeve. That means the shirt, the way it's cut, all will have a sleeve to it. It's almost, there's some shirts like that, and some different jackets and things where you don't have to make a sleeve, because it's like there's robes like that. I don't know what those komodos, I think they call them, komotos. They're made that way as well. Okay, so I have that stitch, that and that, or pin, should I say? I have that pin, and that. And now I'm gonna take it to the machine, and I'm gonna sew across here, and I have to be very careful right here. And I'm gonna cut this. See that extra hangover right there? I'm gonna cut that and remove that, because I have to be very careful right here. Here, okay? So when I start to go this way, I do not want to catch this. You see that? So I need to look. I'm gonna move y'all to the sewing machine area, and then I'll show you a closer view. If y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Let me get over here. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't know why I have my laptop open. I wasn't even using. I'm not even using it. So I'm gonna put that there. Let me see. Do I need this? I have another place to put my phone. Where you at? cannot see you. Oh, here you go. Okay. How do I want to do it this way? Let's see here. Is it this way? Where I put it, it's a magnetic thing that'll hold it. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure. I might have to put it back on the tripod. We'll see. We'll look in a minute. We'll give. So this is my iron pad, which I do not need. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Move this here and let's see what angle you have. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to move this tripod over here. Give me a second. Put you there. Make sure you're out of my way. Put you here, and let's do this again. Take you off of that. Uh-oh. You're on the charger. Hold up. Put you like that, and like that. Got all this fabric over here, y'all. Here's my pillow that I sit on. Okay, and then I can angle you different places like that. There we go. Okay, I never put you in that area before, but that's okay. So, but before I do that, I want to show y'all closer. Please don't stick myself. Don't stick myself. Please, please. Because I know it's coming, okay? I don't think I've ever used pins and not stuck myself, okay? Prick myself, should I say. Okay, so, I don't need a light on because when I turn that light on, it's going to be very bright on here, okay? But I have some hanging here that I can see. So I'm going to cut that off while it's pinned. And that's probably when I'm going to prick myself. Oh, goodness. I'm like a little scared girl. Isn't that crazy? And then I have this side, a little hangage. Okay? See that? And it's important that I get it right because if I don't cut that off, I can potentially not do this right. So, let me cut that real quickly. Okay, that's how much I took off on that side. And then, okay, I'm doing good so far. Don't prick yourself. Don't prick yourself. Oh, goodness. I know it's coming. It's coming. And I got to try to mentally make sure I don't hurt myself when it comes. Come on, clip, clip. There you go. Uh-oh, pin. Almost. Pin got in the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Hey, pin. Get out the way. And that's how much I got off the other side, okay? I'm going to put that to the side there. And close these. These things are really sharp. Okay, and I don't want to prick myself. Listen, I know I'm going to prick myself, okay? So we're going to switch up. I'm sorry. I cannot, okay? So while acting very nervous, so I'm going to use these clips. Or I even have safety pins to replace those pins. Safety pins, I don't prick myself, right? Because they close up. But we're going to use these clips because I cannot work being nervous like I am. And we're going to pull them pins out as soon as I clip it up. I feel like a scared child. Okay? And I'm still scared because they're still in there. Come on. Listen, for those of us who sew, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? You prick yourself, you have blood on the items that you're working on, okay? That is like, it could be really weird, okay? You're working on a coat and they got little blood spots on it from you pricking yourself, okay? We're going to take these pins out. Make sure I don't miss any, because I see that one I left there. I'm going to take these pins out of here, because Oh, I left that one there, but I'm gonna use some more clips. We want you there. Okay, we want you there. Let me take this pin out. Should have used clips from the beginning. I'll put another one. More safety pins than clips in here. I'll put you there. Okay, listen, you don't have to be perfect when you're sewing. It's not that detailed, but there are certain areas where you really have to be really kind of on the money. Okay, because there's a V-neck in here. Remember, the V-neck is in the front of the shirt. This going in the back. So when I stitch, I want to go, and I am going to catch this part, but then I have to be spot on to go around to not catch this V-neck in the front. And so that's what's important. And what you can do, you can mark where I can know where to stop and to go around. Okay? It's okay for me to catch it up here. Boom, boom. It's important that I don't catch that V-neck right there. So I have to be spot on. Okay? And on this side as well. Do it have to be exact? Yes. It has to be. My pin catcher is magnetic, so this is magnetic too. Okay. Both of those are magnets. Okay. What am I doing? Oh, it fell right here on the floor. Listen, y'all. I am all over the place. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I unplugged it. When I moved it, did I unplug it? Is that when I unplugged this thing? It goes that way. See, lots of light from the sewing machine itself. I am going to feel for where, and we're gonna stitch across. And when I go here, if I don't do it exact, I'm gonna have to end up redoing it in that area. I think it's too close. Let me see. Yeah, you are too close. Let me see a little bit. Wait, is that that's the front? Oh, they want me to be a little closer, huh? Let me see. I need a seam allowance right there. So I'm gonna have to watch it. I'll just pay close attention, that's all. I'm gonna have to go real close. My seam allowance is 5/8, but I'm not gonna be able to do a 5/8 right here. Let's see. I'm gonna do a scant. I'm gonna do a 4. Put you there. I need a seam allowance right there. Let me look at that. No. Come on, get there. Catch you. Catch you. I need both y'all caught right there. And you, same thing. Right in that corner. Is it as serious as I'm making it? Eh. Have I missed that spot right on point? Yes. Sometimes I have to redo it, sometimes not. It just depends. We gonna do what we do, and then we're gonna figure it out after we do it. Okay. My white thread is in already. Bobbin is ready. I'm gonna do a test stitch, but it should be okay because last time I was sewing, it was on this fabric. I take a piece of the same fabric that I'm working with. I fold it over so I can get a double, and then we're going to see what the stitch looks like. Just a test. It's on 7. Why is it on 7? I just turned it on. What's going on? Something ain't right. Something's wrong. Who that was? Oh, you need me? No. Okay. I don't even know if anybody can hear me anymore. Somebody just called me, and it may have knocked the sound off. Something's going on with my machine. What's going on? Okay, there we go. No, it's still on 7. Why? Something's going on. What's going on? Oh, 3. Oh, great. Something's not right. Unplug, come on. Ah, damn. Now, how you unplugged before? Now it's almost impossible to unplug. What is going on, machine? I never had a problem with this machine. It don't want to move. It don't want, something's going on. Something's out of whack, y'all. Because that never happened before. I'm going to take some things off. Okay. Y'all see that? I'm having, okay. Now we on to something. But we're not, okay. Okay. No, it went back to 7. See that position 07 shouldn't be there. It moved just now, but it wants to, okay, so number 3 on the A, it wants to stitch out, it will stitch out a letter C right now. Okay, but I don't want to stitch out no C's, no letters, right? So I'm going to put it on, let's try this. Okay, and it keeps going to position 7, and I can't lessen it. Oh my goodness. This has never happened before. 09, I put it on 09. See, it went to 05. What is 09? I'm in, what mode am I in? I'm in this mode. Okay, now it went to 7 again. Let's see this mode. Oh, 2. Oh my goodness. Now, I could still sew, but what the world is going on? Double needles. Needle down, needle up, 1 needle, cut mode. That should move my needle too, right? I put it in a mode. How do I put it in a mode where I move my needle like that. There you go. Okay, I might have to do that because I'm not sure, like, why. So we're going to see. 03, 01. Okay, it got, so what mode am I in? Okay, I'm in the right mode, but I have it where I can move my needle. So I'm going to have to physically move my needle, which is okay. Put it in the center. Let me test it. Oh, my goodness. Now, let me tell you why I'm saying, oh, my goodness, because they want $100 just to look at your machine. Okay. And I don't want to spend no $100 for them to look at my machine and fix it. And they make you pay ahead of time. You paid $100 and it might not, it's like, why would it be cost $100 to fix a machine, to clean a machine? And I know that sounds like nothing, except I have like 4 or 5 machines. Like, I could be easily giving somebody $400 for 4 machines. Oh, I didn't read it. Let's see what we got here going on. When I look at the stitch, it's a 2.5, and it does not look good right now. It look kind of loose. Let me see. No, it's good. No, it's loose. It's kind of, I can't really see. Is it skipping? Let me try that again. Because I'm doing white on white. Let me get another color. I can't really see. I have the needle up. I want the needle down. Okay, because there's a reason for that. And it's stitching. Okay, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. The problem is that okay, let's just do this. 5/8 is in the center. Oh, you're right here. Okay, so I have a 5/8 is about right there from the center. Let me get we're going to make sure they don't want me to change. Where are you? I'm going to have this done for him, not tomorrow, for him for Thursday. Okay. Where are you? Expect to know. Boom, 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 boom. You over here? I do not see you. So where did I put you? Probably in my sewing bag. Yep, I think I see you. Maybe. I do not see you in my sewing bag. Where could you be? Oh, you're right here. In my face. Over here. Okay. Here you go. Let's see what they say. I just need to know the seam allowance. I'm not sure if it's the right one. I didn't listen to the instructions. Okay. I just need to know the seam allowance for this area. Boom, boom. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's the jacket. This is the top. I don't think they're telling me the way I'm doing is different. I just need to know what that seam allowance is. See, they're supposed to have some dots. Wait, what? Okay. 8. To finish unnotched edge. No, I'm not doing that. With right sides together, pin back. Okay, I did all that. It's the shoulder and neck edges, pivoting the needle in the fabric at small dots. I just need to see where the dots. Yeah. Okay. Psh, that ain't no help. Because now they do have dots. I put dots on my piece. Let me see. No, I didn't. There's no. Wait, what are they talking about? There's no dots on. Wait, where the piece at? I think I'm reading the wrong thing that I think about it. There are dots there, but that's for the front V-neck. I didn't follow their instructions. I am talking about the back piece. What did I just read? That doesn't make sense. There was no dots. Yeah, they did theirs completely different than the way I did mine. That's why there's no help. Because there are dots on the front piece. Okay. Then you got dots here. They have a dot there. That's the top. So I guess that don't even make sense. But I did mine differently, so the instructions not going to help me. Yeah, that's not going to help. Okay. Let me just do it. If you don't do it their way, their instructions may not help you. I just got to be careful when I get here. 5/8 is my seam allowance. Okay. Boom, boom. Yep. I'm going to put my stitch down. We're going to do back stitching first. Really, you just usually do like 2 or 3 back stitches, but I started for the end so I don't get the knot at the bottom. Come on, go ahead, move for me. Move these. Okay, now we're about to get to where I'm going to have to be very careful when I get up in here. I should have marked it. Uh-oh. Let's cut it. Darn it. I went too far in. Let me see. It's okay. Let's see. I'm going to unstitch that, but I'm going to back it up to where I am. Should be right there. Unpick a little bit. Where you at? I saw you. Don't have maybe about 5 stitches out to unpick. I hope. Come on. Where you at? There you go. There we go. Put that clip back on you until I get you where I need to be, okay? We're gonna back stitch you a little bit just to make sure. I'm gonna keep you straight. There you go. So I'm gonna take you off yet. Now we can take you off. This is where I have to be careful. I do want to cross over that V-neck, but when I take this turn, I want to be off that V-neck. Okay. Still on the V-neck. And I just got off the V-neck. Let me make sure. Lift you up. Let me see if they're gonna be 5/8. Actually, no, that's less, but I'm okay with that. I don't need 5/8 in the neckline. I just need 5/8 in the shoulders so they could be right. Okay, here we go. I'm actually doing just 3/8 around this area, and this is a curve, so I gotta be very careful. Do it. Stay on there. When I get back to the shoulder, I'll do the 5/8. We're getting close, baby. Wait, am I on it yet? Okay. Whew, okay, we here. We here, baby, we here. Okay, 5/8. You look like you sleep. Okay. Now that we're gonna know when I turn it. When I go to turn it, I shouldn't have caught the V and I didn't. See how it's free? So let's see. I know definitely I didn't catch it on this side. So we take this and now we flip it. But before I flip it, I need to clip into, because this is to get it to relax a little bit. I take my scissors. I'll show y'all what I'm gonna do. Okay, take the scissors. And then curves. In curves, you kind of snip it a little bit. because you don't go into the stitch, but you go as close as you can without stitching. Okay, so I'm getting close, but not ain't going into it. And you do that for a reason. Some people make triangles. There's no need to do that, because when you just need it to be able to open like that. Okay, that's what you do on curves, and that is a curve. This is not a curve. I don't really care about that. I'm just talking about these curves, okay? Okay. And now I can flip it like this. Okay, I'm gonna iron it. Wait a minute, what the hell? Yeah, because this is the inside of the shirt. I want that to be the inside of the shirt. Now there's a few things I can do. I can top stitch it in the back, which will keep it down, or I can understitch it and it'll keep it down. I usually, for hubby, I top stitch it. Okay. If I was using a delicate fibers, making a dress or something, I would just understitch it. But he don't want this to, I don't want that to rub against his neck or anything, so I stitch it down. So I top stitch it, okay? So let's see what that looks like. From this side. So I give it a press, and that's gonna be a clean top there. I'm gonna stitch that down, and that'll be in the inside like that. You see that? And the part that I didn't want to catch is this. You see that V-neck right there? Don't want to catch that. And I got spot on. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get my iron ready. Where are you? You over there blinking. I see you blinking. I see you blinking, baby. I see you. I see you blinking. Somebody call me. Can't play my music. Why I can't play my music? Because my music is on my phone. My iPad, where are you? I'm not sure where you are. Now, so there's some things that I'm doing different. I'm doing French seams, so I don't have to. I don't want to do the Hong Kong seams. That's too much for just a basic. But the Hong Kong seams is a good seam. I am going to do the French seam, and that means I'm going to sew everything right sides together, then take it on the inside and do wrong sides together, and that will encase everything. Okay, it's a great way of finishing and double-siding shirts or anything like that. Okay. So where's my... Also, you could use binding, and because his shirts get extreme heat to wash them, right? I definitely have to make sure that I protect his the insides of them so they'll last. Okay. So I'm gonna fold that under like we've done. First of all, it's going around my chair. There we go. And I don't know if I have on cotton. Is it on delicate? No, it's on cotton. Okay. The iron gets really hot. It stays plugged up, and I just want to kind of get this right so I can stitch it down. There we go. It looks good. Oops. Now what I didn't do, which I feel like I should have done, and I didn't do it last time or any time, but I guess I could have gave a little interfacing in the neckline, but I feel like it makes it a little stiffer for him. It, he can't tell the difference either way. I don't think he'd be. So if I was making it for someone to sell, I would, possibly interface it. I guess it depends on the fabric that I'm using for the neckline. This is a nice fabric for the neckline. Okay. Now see, top stitching, understitching would mean I would stitch underneath, and the understitching would keep this down. But the only problem with that, it's not really a problem, but for you men, y'all don't like anything on your neck. For people who like nothing on your neck, this would still be able to come up, but it would never flip on the outside. Okay, it would never flip on the other side because the way I stitch it, if I understitch it, it would keep it down from flipping. But this part still will be flappy. You know what I mean? But you can lift it up, and it might rub against your skin. But if I top stitch it, I don't have to understitch it. I stitch that part down. Now, what's the difference between the two? If I understitch it, you won't be able to see a stitch at all. If I top stitch it, there'll be a top stitch right here. Now, the truth is, you won't be able to see it unless you go close to it, because I'm going to use the white thread and you won't see it. But it will be there, though. If understitching, there will be no stitch on the outside at all. And that's the difference. So that's why you got to think of your techniques that you're going to use when you create something, for various reasons, right? So, so I'm going to top stitch this really quickly. Just to make sure that stays down. Okay, it looks good. See, it's a nice clean thing. And I'm going to stitch close enough to where that has no movement, basically. Okay, well, he won't even know that it's there, essentially. And to make sure I catch it, because this is in a weird rounded spot. Sometimes it could be a little weird to get there. And I could also top stitch it by hand. Just go in and do a real quick stitch and make it almost invisible and keep it down. You also could use stay tape, which is like a tape that you put underneath, and it kind of binds it and keeps it there in place. So there's all kinds of options. I'm not going to do the stitching now because I do want to put my label there. I'm gonna put, a heart or something, a label there that I'm gonna put there for him. Usually, I put something on the sleeve that say homemade, handmade, wife made, me made. Okay, but if I understitch it, I don't even have to worry about it. And understitching meaning I would just do a stitch. Let me do that. I'm gonna understitch it first. Show y'all how to do that. And that way, if I tend to forget, because my labels, I can iron the label on, but I want to stitch one on. Okay. Let me show you what understitching is. So in order to keep that down, you got to stitch it, but you don't really have to stitch into this, because you stitch the seam allowance down. You won't be able to see it anywhere because the stitching gonna be on just the seam allowance on this part that I cut. So it's not gonna be on the outside, it's not gonna be anywhere, but it would keep it down, right? So you kind of take that and stitch that to that. The part that wants to stay down will keep that there. Okay, so let's do that real quickly. I don't need this anymore for now. I want to make sure it's to the seam allowance only. Okay. I'm gonna move that needle a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna make my stitch a little longer. It don't have to be so short. Okay, where that seam allowance at? I'll keep that there. Flatten that out. Where's my foot pedal? Come here. Make sure you, yeah. It's called understitching. Okay. Understitching. I'm stitching it to the seam allowance only. At least we hope. I ain't bunching nothing up under there. Let me see. I don't see anything bunched up. Okay. Make sure. And I got really close. I might have to go again. And I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to go to the shoulder, mainly because, oh, I got it on a setting I never had this machine on. I didn't even know this machine had that setting where it's stitched. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh yeah, okay. Where it's stitched and then it went backwards on its own and forward on its own. I didn't even know my machine had that option. So let me show you the stitch. See the stitch is right there, but you can't really see it, right? But it's holding on to that seam allowance. That's what I stitched it to, which means now when I flip it, that seam allowance, which wants to stay in this inside because that's where it belongs, will automatically keep this portion in the inside. See? And then I don't have to top stitch. But remember, it won't never roll over that way because it's stitched down like that. Okay. Now, and there's no stitching on the back. That shows on the back. Now, remember the reason I want to stitch it, top stitch it though. Remember I said this part will still be like this. It'll never roll out because it won't do that, but it'll still be against the skin. He never had a problem with, but I think I've always top stitched them down, which I am going to top stitch that down eventually though. Okay. I don't have to though, because it won't come out. See it? And there you go. That's his V-neck in the front, and that's the edge of the back, all done. And now that I just have to close it up, hem it, and hem the sleeves. That's all. That's need to be done next. Easy things to do. You could do. I've done one of these shirts in like 2 hours. As long as it's already cut out and I don't have to do any embroidery, I could definitely do it in 2 hours. That's with the insides being done. So let's look at what we're going to do on the inside. I've already taken care of, so I did a stitch along the edge here that keeps it clean. I could have used my serger, but I did a stitch here to protect that so it won't unravel. I usually do that with his whole shirt, but or I could use my serger, but this time I'm going to encase all the seams inside itself, except this one at the top. Okay, so I am going to, let me see what I want to do with this. I could encase that as well if I would have did a smaller seam allowance, and I still can, but I'm okay with the shoulders. I'm going to either serge it or overcast it, okay, just to make sure that stay nice and neat. But I am going to do French seams, which means I'm going to sew it together, right sides together. Right, I'm going to sew it like this, right sides together, which is weird. You sew it right sides together, which is going to have a raw edge, and then I'm going to flip it inside out and then sew it again on the wrong side, which means this side will be encased, and it'll be a real pretty finish in the inside. I could do a home cone finishing, which is a very strong and very good cleaning up on the inside. It looks good too. It could make the shirt double-sided if it was using a different fabric. It could be very fashionable and sturdy. Okay, that's why you use binding. And so on this shirt, I'm going to do the French seams though. I'm going to do the French seams. But I need to decide, how do I want to do his, I was thinking about binding the sleeves and adding more white, like a white strip of binding to finish the seam, to the seams, to hem the shirt. I think it'll make it, it'll add to the design where you have this white, the pocket white, and the sleeve part white. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Before I close that up, I'm gonna take my take some binding and hem that. It'll be self-hemming. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I have to cut those pieces, and because I just decided that that's what I'm gonna do. Let me measure that out. I like doing different things. Each shirt I've done differently, whether I put it together differently using different techniques, or whether I just tried something different, adding embroidery. This is going to be my first time hemming this with binding. And I may even hem the bottom with binding. I can even put a white strip at the bottom. I can do that. And I think I am going to do that. I think that's going to look good. Oh, I like things that stands out. Okay. I also can use the same fabric as binding, right? To where nobody would see it. But why would I do that? It is kind of easy, I think, for me to do the sleeves with binding than for me to fold and then fold again. That's kind of easy too, to be honest. It's all easy. You fold it once and fold it twice and just sew. And then when it come together, it be hemmed. That's easy. But I'm going to do the binding. I want the white strip there. And I'm thinking, I could do, let me see. I could take the strip and embroider some stars on it. Like the star. And then when I put it there, it'll have like little stars going around it. I could do that also. I think that'd be cute. I was thinking about putting his name, but I don't want to do that, right? Because when he's no longer able to use it, if it's still real in good condition, I want to be able to donate it. Donate it to someone who will appreciate it. But he never gonna get rid of it. He loved these shirts. He even wear these shirts when we go out, especially the military ones. Veterans Day, he probably will wear this, unless I make him a button-down shirt, because I could buy some more of this fabric. Make him a button-down shirt with it. Make him a hat. Make him a pair of shorts. A patchwork shorts with this. He'll love it. Okay? He'll love it. And that's why I don't mind making it for him. So I am going to make the binding. I'm not going to do the stars because I don't. I don't want to go down. This machine will do stars as well, actually. It could do hearts. Let me see. Let's see, stars. I don't think I want to do that though, but it will make the stars go all on the. It'll do that little gator. I see little flowers, little roses, little hearts. I think I might do the stars. Let's test out. But with this thing acting up, I don't know though, right? It's acting up. We're gonna test. We're gonna do a little test real quick. Let me see. I don't want to use that. That's not the. Oh, my white fabric. Did I put you back in the case over here? There's fabric everywhere. In boxes. This is for my quilt. I just need a piece to test it on. But I don't want to use anything that I'm using for something else. I'm using that for something else. I folded up the white. You should be in here. Yeah, here you go. Okay. I just need a little piece to test the stars really quickly. Okay, gotta see if it's a good idea. You don't know if it sounds like a good idea, but is it doable without me going downstairs to my embroidery machine? We're gonna see if I can make a couple stars, at least 2 stars or 1 star right there. See what it looks like. And then I don't know because something's wrong, right? So we're gonna test it and see if I can get it. Let's see. And if I do, it has to be in another color. So we're gonna do. I need black so I can see. Piece of black fabric right here. I just need a little piece. That's the same medium weight. I'm gonna just take it. Okay, let me see. I need it to be on this setting, and then I need you to be. I see 22. Okay, we're gonna do a test. Okay, I'm doing it on black because the thread is white. Let's see. Oh, I think I have the wrong foot on. In should work. It says in. Yeah, that's in, right? Yeah, that's in. Okay. Oh, it hit. See, I don't think it's the right. Did it hit the side? Then I heard it hit something, didn't I? I think I heard it hit. I know it broke. That's maybe what I heard. Cause this is in. Let me see. Yeah, that's in. Okay. I'm about to say, oh my God, been broke the needle, which I have lots of needles, but I don't want to break the needle. I pop the thread. Oh, let's see here. Where you go? My machine. My baby not doing right. Baby, what you doing? You gotta do better. You got to get. You can't be sick on me like this, baby. I'm gonna take you apart myself. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me start this over. I'm gonna start it all over again. No, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna put it up here. Wow. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see. Nah, so are you broke? No, you're doing something to the fabric. Yeah, I saw you pushing in there. What the hell? Something going on. Yeah, no. Okay, bad idea. Let's just do some basic sewing. Okay. I don't I don't trust it right now. Um, where's the white? I am gonna do binding. I think maybe an inch, 1 inch folded in 1 inch is a half an inch, but then I'm gonna fold it again, be like a quarter. So yeah, we're gonna do a 1 inch binding. And I just need enough for 2 sleeves. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. I'll measure the thing once, see how much I need after I do the cutting. Okay. I need it to be on grain. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Is that the weft don't matter. I am going around. I should actually do, I'm gonna sew it straight though. I could do an actual binding on do I want to? No, I'm gonna just do it straight. Because I'm gonna sew it on straight. It's gonna be curved. It's gonna be a little, if I want it to be perfect, I need to put it on the bias, right? So binding, there's binding. People think all binding are the same, but there's bias binding, and then there's binding. And if they just say that it's binding, then it's just binding. If it's bias binding, then it's on the bias, which is the best depending on what you're using it for. If you're going around curves, right, then bias binding is what you need. I am going around the curve, even though I'm a sew it straight. He gonna wear it on he don't want it to be weird. Bias binding though will flow real seamlessly. So, but the thing about bias binding, you gotta cut it on the bias, and people don't really want to do too much of that. I don't like to do too much of that, but I am gonna do that, because it's the best thing if I spend all that money for the fabric and take my time to make it, I must make it right. Bias binding is cutting it on the bias, and I'm gonna cut it on the bias as well as to. So this look like the weft. No, that looks like the, well, yeah, I see it. Okay, I do see. Okay. Let me see how much I need before I do this. Where is it? Okay, I have it straight. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on the bias. Yeah, I should have enough to do both. How do I easily cut it on the bias? Here, like that, baby. Okay, and I should get my degree that I'm looking for. Okay, I folded it, and the bias is the part of that should stretch. You see that stretch? That's when you know you're on the bias. But if you're not on the bias, there's no stretch. See, no stretch that way, no stretch that way. But on the bias, it's a lot of stretch. It doesn't even have to be exactly on a certain degree, but so I put that down there like that. Okay. And this is the bias. Okay. I just want it as neat as I can get it, so I can get as much of it as I can out of this piece I have. Right? That's what I'm working on. And I'm gonna cut this. Wait, I'm gonna put this part as straight as I can get it. Like that. This part over here I don't really need, so I'm gonna cut you off this part here. Okay, we're gonna leave that out the way. I want this as straight as I can get it though. It may not necessarily be straight though. That's okay, because the part that I'm cutting is here. I'm gonna do 2 strips of 1 inch, and that should be enough for what I need. So I'm gonna cut like that. And really, if I cut 2 inches, boom, and then from there I could cut the strips off that I need. Okay, but I don't know if do I need 2 inches? 1 inch going that length might be enough. How much of it is over there? Nah, I'm gonna just do the 2 inches just to make sure I have enough. I can always use vinyl, especially white, so that's not gonna be a problem. Now I need my ruler. Ruler, screw up. I see you. No, I have to get you though. Okay. This is. I just need 2 inches. Put the 2 there. Okay. And I'm gonna mark you because I do cut with scissors most of the time because I don't have my cutting mat. Where's my cutting mat? It's somewhere down here, but it takes too long for all that I'm talking about. Actually, this is not 2 inches. It's 4 inches because I have it folded. I just need an inch. Inch would be 2 inches. Folded. Okay. But when I do 1 inch, just a ½ inch. Do I just want to do a ½ inch? ½ inch is gonna be a little shorter than ½ inch, which I think is okay. Let's do an inch and a half or inch and a fourth. Let's do an inch and a fourth. 1 inch. I could do 1 1/8, but I'm gonna do 1 1/4. 1 1/4. There you go. Which would be 2 1/2. Okay. Okay, mark there, mark there. I'm gonna go a little further down just in case. 1 1/4. You're not 1 1/4. You're 1 1/4. Okay, right here. Okay, let's line you up. You. Oh man, you do it from this side so I can see you better. See you, but I don't see you. Line you up with you. All of you. Boom, boom, boom. What about you? Yeah. It's hard to do this sitting down. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut you, but I'm Should I iron you down so I can know where to cut on this side? I just need that fold right there. This is not a good idea the way I'm ironing, okay? I'm ironing on this um, instead of my iron, what you call it, but I just need a little crease. It don't have to be a big one, it just need to be a little one. So I don't have to measure again, okay? I just need that little crease right there. Little crease. Don't need to be too much. Now I'm gonna get my scissors out. I don't see you over there. Must be somewhere in my bag. Oh, I do not see them there neither. These are snips. These are some sharp snips. They cut very well, but oh, I see the scissors. Here we go, baby. How do I want to do you? I could fold you, but if I fold you, I need to fold you this way. And then it's easier to cut. You see, I have less to cut. Just make sure it don't have to be perfect, but you know, I'll be looking for all kinds of shortcuts, okay, to do things. See, I folded it, and I'm gonna cut this strip off, following that guide. It may not be exact, but that's okay. It's binding. And now, see that binding? Boom, boom. And see how stretchy it is? Yes. And now I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to leave it folded and cut it in half like that. And I have 2 strips of bias binding. It's stretchy, see? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's it on that. I don't know how long I need, but I definitely know this is long enough to go around anybody's sleeves, okay? You could be the hawk, and the hawk sleeves can fit in all of that. So I definitely know I have enough. Now the thing about binding, there's several ways people use them. The correct way, I don't usually, to be honest, when it comes to binding, I tend to have an issue with sewing it certain ways. Now mostly I do it the easy way, and I just fold it in half, bam, bam, and sew it. But I want this to be real clean in the inside, so what I'm going to do, there's no right or wrong side to this. I'm going to do it the way I'm supposed to do it, okay? I'm going to sew it right sides together. Boom, boom. Then I'm going to boom, boom, fold it, and then fold it inside. And it'll be real neat. There is a way to, like I can quickly fold it and fold it one side on that side and that side. See what I mean? I could do it that way. I can do that. And it'll look okay, but it'll look better the way I'm about to do it. I'm going to do it the correct way. So I'm going to pin that there. That is the sleeve, y'all. It's just open. This is the shoulder. Okay? So I'm going to... And I'm not going to pin it. When I say pin, I mean clip. Okay? I'm going to clip it there. Right sides together on the right side. And this truly is an easy way of hemming things, okay? If I wanted it to not be noticeable, I would hem it with the same fabric. I do making this a design choice, so I'm using the white. Did it have to be biased? No, but it will look better being biased. I can tell on his shirts where they have binding, even in the back, that it's not on the bias. And I can show it to y'all if y'all need to see how I know it's not on the bias. This gonna flow with his body perfectly, because it'll stretch if it needs to stretch and get back in shape if it needs to get back in shape. Okay, so I still have that much left. And let's do the other side. Is that enough for the other side? No. So I'll use the other one for the other side. Let's leave that. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna do you right, baby. We're gonna do you right. Clip you in place. There's also a little trick I do when I'm hemming dresses and things. I don't have to sew them little and roll twice. Okay. That is the sleeve. That's the front. That's the side. Yeah, that's the shoulder right there. Okay. We're going to sew that on really quickly. And I'll show y'all how to do that. I have to put it on the right setting. It's not on the right setting. Put it on 03, 01. Yeah, it doesn't want to. I don't know why, but I have it in the center though. Okay, we're just gonna sew that in place on the right side with right sides together. Okay, the right side with right sides together. I do want that to go. I look like I'm doing it about 1/4 of an inch, which I'm okay with. And we want it to go backwards a couple of stitches. And then we're gonna move this forward. I keep moving the foot pedal. Here we go. Oh, it went backwards on its own. Yeah, okay. Like that little setting. Didn't know I had it. I never read the manual to this machine. I just opened it and started using it. That's what I did, baby. I had this for about maybe 3 years now. No, maybe 5 years. And I never opened the manual. I'm not saying that's a good thing, I'm saying I just learned a setting that I have today. Which is a great thing to have. I gotta make sure I catch this part right because it is a little uneven right up in there. Okay, but we're gonna make sure that we get it in it right there. You're not even gonna really see the script like that. Wait, is it? Yeah, okay, about to say. See how I pushed that button? It went back and forth on its own. Normally, I used to just do a lock stitch and stay in place, but now it goes forward. When I lock it, and then I cut. So if I put that side on, I'm gonna iron it, and then I'm gonna fold this to this. There's a couple of ways I could do it. I could take it and just fold it, and then you take it and fold it again like that, and then you won't see any of the white. Now, if I wanted you to show you the white, I would have put it on that side and then did it the opposite way. And that, I thought, didn't I say I wanted to see the white? I think I did, but do I? Let me think about this. I still can do it with a seeing the white, but I can do it where you don't see the white at all. And this side will be clean. But I think I do want to see the white, which means I'm going to have to unpick this and put it on that side and bring it to this side. But let me see what that looked like first, though, before I do that. So you fold this in half like that, right? Then you take that and you fold that on that side. And see, then that white part would be at the, this is the inside, though. If I want that white to show on the outside, I have to do it in reverse. I do want that white, though. I think I want that white on his. So I'm going to unpick this. There's no big deal. I do want it. I want the white to show. That's the only reason I did this. I wouldn't have to do this if I didn't want the white to show. You know, I could have double folded it. Okay. Doesn't take long to unpick. Most of us don't like to unpick, though. I'm going to be honest. Most of us don't. There's shortcut ways. Seam ripping. But this is biased. I don't want to mess it up. End up putting a hole in it. Pull and kind of get it in there. That's unpicking and that's seam ripping. Don't want to rip the seam because I want to reuse this. So I unpick. Okay. And you don't have to unpick each. You just go in certain spots every 10 stitches or so. I don't know. I don't count them. And I go in and do it like that. be very careful because this thing will poke a hole in what you're working in, okay? Um, and I remember I thought I had a bigger stitch. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm glad I didn't. That was on another part where I top stitched it back, which I didn't do. I had a longer stitch. Should be a construction stitch, so it should be a minimum 2.5 is what I use on this machine. It's at the end where I did the back stitching. It's holding tight, baby. It's holding for dear life, honey. It's okay. I'm glad okay, so remember I said right sides together, but we're gonna do to the wrong side. And there's on this fabric there's no right or wrong side, but so it don't matter. But I just need to put it on this wrong side. Okay, and I need that to be at least there. Clip you in place. There's a unevenness and I need to correct that. I did right at the shoulder. This side is a little longer. Tiny bit longer. I want the bias to stretch. Okay. Putting you on. So when I get here, I'm gonna take you to here, and then I'm gonna end up cutting that little piece off right there. Which I'm okay with at that shoulder. This on the inside, so I'm gonna you look good. I'm gonna clip you. Am I gonna do you now? Clip you now? Do I wanna clip you? I'll clip you when it's time. Inside, because I want the white to show. Oh, is it gathering? Hell yeah, what happened? Something happened. I don't know what though. Let's stop it. The bobbin thread Did you break? No, you're still good, but I don't see you anymore. You might have ended. And you're not threaded anymore. I'm not gonna start over, but I'm gonna start you about right there. I'm not used to that yet. I'm gonna get used to it. Wait, something going on? Is it still happening? No, no. You sorry? It look good? Okay. It's the weight, the way I have it hanging off the side. It's giving me no time here. This way I get tricky. Right at the shoulder. Well, I don't want you going all the way there. And I'm going to back you in this area a little bit. And then, don't cut, please. Don't cut. Okay, cool. Oh, man, come on. Still at the edge. Yep. But you're looking a little. Stay on that edge, please. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so that's in the inside. In the inside. And I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna iron it, fold it like this. Okay, I'm gonna fold that to that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna take it, because I want that there, and then I'm gonna fold it to the outside like that, and then it'll have that on the outside. And so right on his sleeve he'll have that little white trim there. Okay, so that's how that works. And it is bias binding. So we're gonna do the other side that I pinned, but I pinned it on the wrong side. So we're gonna fix that and sew that on. Okay. So we're gonna pin it to the inside. Okay. Pin it, clip it. And I don't want the bias to be stretched. Okay, I'm gonna just lay it as comfortably there as I can get it. To me, this is the easiest way to hem sleeves, as when it's open. A lot of people don't do that. I don't know why, because I Even if I wasn't putting bias binding, I would hem this sleeve when it's straight out. Okay, and then when I close it up, it'd just be already hemmed. Some people don't do that, and I haven't figured out why they don't. I haven't had an issue. Even my long sleeves, I hem the bottom before I put it together. It's so much easier that way. Now, this side is even. The other side wasn't even in that area. So that's on the inside. I'm going to sew it together really quickly. And that's what we're going to do. Oh, baby. What time is it? It's 10:30, 10:35, something like that. I kind of started this late tonight. If it wasn't recording and talking, it would have been done actually. It doesn't take long. And if I knew what I wanted to do, like I decided to add this at the last moment here. Oh. Ah, darn it. Is that going to the front or the back? That's going to the back. I just noticed that. Not that it matters. But, okay, I wanted to reinforce it at the shoulder. Okay. Where's the end? Here, okay. Darn it. Right here, look like I caught this side mostly, but not that side. Does that matter? Not really. I did catch it, but just not as much. Let me see, though. How much did I get it? It barely got caught right there. I saw it when it happened, but it is caught. And it doesn't matter. I'm actually sew that again, right? I'm gonna fold this, and then I'm gonna sew that on. Okay, we're gonna do some ironing, and then I'll do some figuring out if I'm gonna keep it like that or not. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna set the seam. That's always good and nice to do. Set your seams, okay, by ironing over them. You can also give it a little starch if you want, but or a little steam, should I say? That'll get those holes and everything to close up. Okay, set that. I'm not gonna cut that off yet. then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, you can either take this and fold it, but the best thing to do is just to fold that to the edge and then press it, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to press that to the edge. And then I'll press it. Okay. Good. Okay, so I folded that in half. And now we're going to take that and flip it to the other side. Like, wait a minute. Darn it. I gotta undo that. Let's undo that crease. Darn it. Come on, come on, come on. It looked good too, but undo that. Give me a sec. I need some steam to get that crease out, because this is, but I'm gonna burn myself with that steam. But I need it to get that crease out that I put in. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. Come on, baby, get that. Come on, get that crease out for me so I can turn that steam off. Come on, get that out for me. There you go. I'm gonna set a different steam in there. Ooh, come on. That steam to set another steam. It's my fault because I won't cut that edge off right there. But I'm thinking if I make a mistake, I'm gonna have to cut another one. But I'm gonna have to cut that off because it's getting in my way. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna cut that off. Wait, what the hell is that? Oh. Ooh, I was about to say, what is that? Okay, I was a little worried there. See this piece right here getting in my way. Get this piece out of there. It's getting in my way, Boom, boom. I'm gonna cut you off, but I don't wanna. I'm gonna cut you off, but a little longer. Give you a little tail. Okay, that's better. Now. Okay, that's better. Yeah, okay. It's easier to do it from this side than that side. And do I, see, I knew I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it good enough. Right there. Shoot. Okay, I got my stitch right there. That's the only spot. Yep, that's the only spot. I'm gonna run you. gonna have to trim some of that off anyway. Okay, let's run right in spot. I'm gonna run you from here to here. All the way, let's see. I might unpick you, or it's a good thing. Why it's on the bias, it's a good thing, because I don't have to really worry about unpicking to get it. Some extra stretches. I'm gonna get under there. Okay. Pull you. Yeah, like that. Oh my goodness. Move it over there like that. Get caught. Just need you caught a little bit. You don't need to be a lot. Okay. And then we're going to trim it down. Yeah. Do I need to trim it down? I might not need to trim it down. I did 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I just did 1/4. Yeah, I might finish this tomorrow because my phone looks like it wants to die, you know? The phone says, I give up. It wants to give up on me, baby. It keeps telling me that it's low on battery. Oh, I did unplug it, huh? Yes, I did. And you're not charging. Okay. That's okay, y'all. We'll finish her sometime. If I don't finish her in front of y'all, I will be doing more of these because I'm always, people always ordering them from me. Okay, they always ordering them. And therefore, I'm always making them. Okay? I'm always making them. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. When y'all see me again, I guess I'll just finish this up. I've already sold them attached both bias bonding. And, right? Yeah. Yes. So, it'll be done. Because that's all I have to do is hem the sleeve, which I'm doing with the bias binding, and then close up the sides and hem the bottom. And I may hem the bottom with bias, and it wouldn't be bias binding, it would just be bias. Okay? Don't need bias binding at the bottom, but I'm not sure. Okay? But I think I am. I think that'll all blend in, you know, a little white on the sleeve, a little white on the pocket, a little white on the collar, and a little white, not the collar, the V-neck, and a little white at the bottom. And I think it'll all just match in, okay? And it help him if he wanted a little longer. You coming up there?
Yeah, you can give me a message.
Okay, y'all. It's over.